All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, good day one and all. Hope we're all doing well. Welcome. Just 1 minute, guys. Just one second. Sorry, be back. Alrighty, guys, apologies. Alrighty, team, hope we're all doing well. Let's get this show on the road. Without further ado, as always, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening. No matter where you are around the world, welcome to another edition of the London session. And as per the usual, we'll be having a look at the gold. Interesting, looks like we potentially could have an option here on the gold on the next M15. So what we've done is we've tapped into the interruption candle and we have rejected that level. Personally not in that trade. Wouldn't be surprised if one or two of my members might be. That is obviously, it's a entry type that you would have first learned about on this particular stream. But anyway, guys, without further ado, if you could, please don't forget, do me a favor, hit that like button on YouTube, TikTok, smash that screen for me. Let's quickly get into the analysis and have a look at what I'm looking at on gold, potentially on the next M15 candle. First of all, let's have a look at the news. Let's see if there is anything of impact for our session here today. Nothing scheduled. Moving forward into NY as well. There's some FOMC board members speaking, so just be wary of that. But nothing is listed as high impact. As always, be wary of any breaking news. In the meantime, guys, any questions, any charts you'd like me to look at, feel free to pop those into the chat. Let's get started and have a look at the gold. Starting on that weekly time frame, and what we can see is, once again, no lower wick. Don't necessarily need it. We're halfway through the week basically, and this rate doesn't look like we're going to come back to create that lower wick. Doesn't mean we can't, but I do believe at this point there's a higher probability of us potentially continuing bullish, or even if we make a pullback, I very much doubt whether we're going to create that lower wick, but that remains to be seen. Not so bothered whether it does or not, to be honest. Daily. All right, so what I can see on a daily here is, obviously we're bullish still in the actual structure itself, but what I can see is we are at a level of significance, a high key level daily resistance here, and we are so far respecting it. We did kind of reject it yesterday. Yesterday's candle closed this weak bullish candle, suggesting perhaps we're exhausting at the same level here to the left, around that 41.40 to 50 sort of region. And within a current daily candle, we are forming bearish. So what we're going to do is mark in the current daily, the previous daily candle's low, seeing it's just a tad below the current daily low. Now on to the 4-hour time frame, and what we can see is technically we are, have we flipped? Well, you could argue it's technically flipped, closed above that wick. However, what we can see is, once again, we are respecting and so far rejecting a high time frame resistance. We're just going to focus in on the current resistance, the most recent level, and mark that in, knowing that we do have some levels just a tad higher up to the left. Bar of support will work something out on the 15. So we know, once again, we're at a very significant level of resistance. We're also, by the looks of it, at some support here also once we go down to the minor time frame, bouncing off the current daily low. So just going to mark that in, and that to me is also a strong level. So what I'm going to be looking at here today is the first potential option. So I'll give you the potential sell option first of all, guys. We're going to mark in a level just here. It's the most recent resistance formed prior to the lowest point of the current daily candle. So what I'm looking at is we have tapped into a level of, well, the IC, the interruption candle, the low of that point, and we are currently rejecting. My idea was, if price was to close back strong bearish, preferably engulfing on this 15-minute candle, then I do believe what we'll be seeing within a current daily is some bearish structure on the minor time frame, seeing is forming bearish itself, the actual candle. If we did close that strong bearish, preferably engulfing candle, I would look to take a potential sell back down towards the current daily candle's low to retest the Asian range low, and potentially see if it does pop below that for maybe continue momentum to the downside, and this thing could perhaps make a deeper drop, a deeper pullback. So that is the potential seller I was considering. Let's quickly look at it on the 5-minute time frame. What I do like about it, if it did begin to reject on the current candle closing this strong bearish, is the fact on the 5-minute now we have formed some minor support. So if we were to close back strong bearish in this current candle, what that's going to do is close the M15 once again back bearish, close to it, if not engulfing. And off the back of that, again, I would look to take a potential sell moving forward on the following candle. As it stands, we are currently flipping back bullish, so we could have an option to sell it from higher up. So the sell options, that is one of them. Another one is if we pop up a little bit higher only to reject higher up. As long as we respect that most recent resistance formed, well, technically speaking, we've broken the most recent resistance, but that's the next level to the left hand side. If we were to respect that level there, then I would look for also a potential sell opportunity to take it back down. Now, seeing we have come from the daily low and we have pushed straight bullish, for any potential buy options, guys, what I'm going to be looking at is, so possibly could have been a buy option from the support. Wasn't personally looking at the chart at that point, but what I want to see is price approach, trigger in some sellers, begin to pop above that resistance, and then we could potentially look for a buy above that point there. My concern is if we are to look at a 5-minute, kind of looks a hell of a lot cleaner if we begin to pop above 41.25, 41.26, that sort of region. So let's just mark that level in, which means basically anywhere within it, if we have the right confirmation to do so, I would be looking for a potential sell, guys. So it's not necessarily back below this blue zone. It could be from within the blue zone as long as I have the right confirmation to do so. Otherwise, guys, the buys, yeah, probably I do feel that'd be best above 41.25.50. Once we pop above that 5-minute resistance, we're also into very clean traffic here on the M15. So that is at the minute the game plan for me moving forward on the gold. The other option would be if we pop back down to the Asian session low, sweep the low only to pop back above, then I would be very interested in looking for a potential buy opportunity to take price back up. So hopefully that all makes sense. And that is my quick take on matters with 2 minutes left until the closure of this 1 hour candle. Just wanted to quickly get out of the way. Doesn't look like we're going to have the sell option present. All right, in the meantime, quickly looking at GJ chart I sent into the members group. It's at a level of strong resistance here. What I do like about it is that it's in fact forming support below that resistance. If it was to begin to reject, I do believe there could be a possible sell option to take it back down towards the Asian session low. Not to go into the full on analysis on it, seeing I don't trade it, but we are at a level of significance in regards to a key level. Is a 4-hour level. So if it did begin to reject yet again, I do believe there's a good chance at some point price could eventually approach that 202.50 sort of region. That is GJ. So a minute left. All right, so gold doesn't look like it will be valid. Let's quickly look at GU. Another chart I sent to my members group. Very similar to gold, GU is tapped into a level of support on the 4-hour time frame and is currently bouncing off it. We have 3 hours left in this current candle, so I was going to see if it was about to close, but it's obviously not. So it's at a level of interest to the left. It is the most recent resistance form prior to the move to the downside. So if we were to begin to reject that resistance, I would look for personally a sell opportunity if I was to trade it back down towards the Asian range low. Otherwise, buys look very clean above that 444 to be exact, to push up towards that 131.540. Not a great deal of margin within that, but the majors can get a pretty easy, pretty small 1-to-1 with sometimes, if you're using the previous candle high or low as your stop loss, you're looking at sometimes 4 or 5 pips based on the 15 or the 30-minute time frame. All right, gold, so it's closed back bullish. I do like this 5-minute support though, guys. So let's just see if we in fact pop up a little bit high and begin to reject. In the meantime, welcome one and all. Peter J, welcome to you. Franco, good morning, brother. How's the corner? Good day to you, mate. Hope you're well too. TikTok to the 69 on the stream. Interesting number. Plus the 8 new followers. Thank you. Welcome, guys. Let me have a look through the TikTok chat. Michael Hughes, good day to you. Hope you're well, mate. Good evening to you. M3MZ triple Y. How long do you wait and avoid trading a pair when it's upcoming or past news? To be honest, for the most part, what I trade is not really, I mean, it is obviously affected by news, but the times of day I trade, it's not really impacted by it. So unless it's breaking news, because I trade London session predominantly, so I do trade only gold. So therefore the main high impact news for gold, you're seeing I'm trading against the US dollar, is obviously during the New York session. So for me, if I was trading NY session, I would probably call it quits 30 minutes prior to the high impact news event. As in looking for the entry, I would definitely consider closing it about 15 minutes prior to it. But even having said that, to be honest, actually I would say 30 minutes prior to it, because what usually eventuates or happens from what I've seen, from around that 30-minute pre-news high impact news candle during the MY session, things can go a bit all over the place. Spreads will start to widen. You get some unusual moves where, you know, candles will just drop or pump and skip pips. So I would say, yeah, you'd probably be looking about an hour, 25 minutes to an hour to look to execute prior to, and you want to be out of trades, I would say half an hour before it. As far as training after the event, probably about at least a half an hour as well, just to see how things react. And that's personally how I would go about it. Luckily for me, again, it doesn't really impact the session I trade and the pair I trade. Asian session, sometimes you'll get some breaking news, seeing it is still evening in the US, which could also impact the market. So that's something you always need to be wary of, but you can't really, very hard to know when that's going to come out, isn't it? So can't really plan for that. Yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Thank you for the sub on YouTube. Mr. Harry, how can we find daily bias is in best way? Well, look, to be honest, if you're talking about the structure itself, once again, thank you for the sub. The way I do it, I look, first of all, I look to see we're obviously in a big strong uptrend here. So obviously I really need to mark it in. This is the highest point market got to. So what I do is I look to the left of the highest point, and I ask myself, where was the last 2 or more consecutive candles? So not one, we've got a pause here, we've got another pause here, and another pause here. Where was the last two or more consecutive candle pullback in the opposite direction? That to me validates the swing. We've got it right here. So therefore, what I do believe is the structure on the daily time frame is technically bullish. However, that's more, to be honest, if I was swing trading or looking for a longer term hold, I'd be more concerned by the actual structure itself. But seeing I'm just scalping, I'm only looking for small moves in and out of the market within a very short period of time, I'm not so concerned by the structure itself anymore on the daily. Yes, I'm concerned though by the level we're at, and also by the previous candle, how that closed, and the current candle, how it's forming in comparison to the previous. So for instance, seeing we're at some resistance here to the left, do have a lower high. If we were to in fact break the low, it would start to flip my bias towards the downside in regards to the daily time frame. But what we can see is also primarily because of the level we're at and the fact we are forming bearish, the candle itself, I can go within the candle and see again what sort of levels are we at, and if we were to respect those levels, where we could potentially look for options to take in line with the actual formation of the current daily candle, which is obviously at the minute being bearish, and vice versa if it was at support. So again, I hope that helps. So the way I see it today, as long as we're really below this resistance, I do believe there's going to be sell options. But I'm not opposed to buying it from back at support. But we'll see if we begin to flip, pop back above the resistance here at 41.25.50. How's that going to look in a daily? The daily will almost be flipping back bullish at that point. To my teammate, thank you for sharing a live. User, are you going to live trade? Potentially, we'll see. And I'm not in a rush to take a trade. I will trade if my plan presents and it ticks the boxes. Donk, Blink, GC. Well, if gold does, the futures will also go up. Very similar chart. It's a little bit below the level gold is at in comparison to the actual resistance. We were to mark that in. This is the futures chart. Mind you, this is lagging. I've only got the basic version of TradingView. I don't have any paid version, so hence why. Perhaps has tapped in as well. So let's see, we are currently respecting that level. Let's see if we do in fact reject and what sort of entry we could potentially get involved in. Just quickly, let me send a link to my team. Very delicious. Good day to you, mate. Welcome, welcome. So how are we going, team? How's it been going? How's the week going on the chart so far? You guys found some clean options? For me, as I mentioned yesterday, guys, I have literally about 6 to 8 candles of a day for the most part to find an entry. And I am hell-bent on sticking to my rules and sticking to the plan. So it's just at the current current time of my what's going on in the background personally. The current time I don't have all that much time for the charts, hence the reason why I'm only on for literally about an hour and 40 minutes a day. Now I'm 30 to now 45 minutes a day on the charts. Generally speaking, I would be on for this stream and maybe, depending on the day, another hour, an hour and a half with my team. So, you know, it brings up to that 3 hour mark for a day, 3.5 to 4 hours max. But at the minute, I'd be lucky to be on the charts for about an hour and a half a day. So it restricts my opportunities, but again, it's important to remain patient and disciplined throughout and just stick to the plan. Michael, 4,000 this week, 1 trade. Nice one, mate. Good work. That's on your funded account, I believe. I would assume. Nice one, mate. Good work. Alvin Turner currently do 3 prop firm challenges up on all 3. Currently should pass them by Friday. Or one step, gave the personal account a rest this week. Nice one, mate. I wish you all the best of luck with that. I hope you knock it out of the park, my friend. Keep us posted. I think trying to run 3 prop firm challenges would be a bit of a challenge in itself, but mate, kudos to you. Sebastian, good morning to you, brother. I hope you're well. Ink up, you're up 12k since Monday. You guys are killing it. I haven't taken a trade this week. Calvin Turner, just found your channel by mistake. Good to find another Aussie. Nice one, mate. Well, welcome. Here pretty much on the daily. Just not Friday off late. But yeah, generally speaking, at least Monday to Thursday. Alright, so we're currently watching gold push through this 5-minute level of consolidation here to the left. Let's see how price reacts to it though. Really pushing volume here on gold. The 1 hour looks really clean, to be honest. Nice strong bullish engulfing candle. It's just not my confirmation time frame. Look at that. Forming an, well, first of all an M formation, and now a potential W formation, so there's a good chance it will pop up to retest the resistance back at 41 45 to 50. All right, is there any potential buy option on the following candle here? Let's have a look at it. There is no interruptions, obviously, on a higher time frame. There is one on the 5-minute. Things that's well back below. To be honest, if we reject and pop back into the range below, I would not really, I would not be comfortable taking that interruption entry to the upside, because I would, if we were to continue bullish, then I feel we should be eventually, well, there's a high probability eventually that we're going to pop through. So if we were to pull back and let's just say tag into that 5-minute interruption candle, that's where it could potentially grab liquidity from, create that well, actually, hold on, let me think about this. Create potentially a higher low, but then if we were to pull back only to respect this level, I do believe it could have been just maybe a bit of a liquidity grab from the upside to in fact come back down. So I would have preferred for the interruption to be a little bit higher up within this blue zone, to be honest. Oh, sniper? That was yesterday, mate. It's not a bank holiday today. No, that was yesterday. All right, so the M15 was straight bullish coming from the daily low. Again, usually in this situation, those of you who watch me on the regular would know exactly what I want to see. That is, I want to see some downside pressure. I want to trigger in some sellers, trap those sellers, close above, and then look for a buy. Because if you're not it from lower down, then without it resetting, providing another entry catalyst, the signal, me getting in some, let's just measure it. I mean, that's the resistance where I would have been trying to find a potential entry. You're getting involved some 130 pips late, so. Oh man, gold. All right, so we're closed strong bullish. Have a look at the 5. Yeah, I'm gonna just wait and see what goes on this current M15. If we do in fact close weak bearish, then I will look for the impulse entry on the following candle. However, if we close back strong bearish back below, then I reckon there's a chance we could sell off back down towards the Asian range low. So for me, it's a bit of time to wait still. Beta, yeah, that was yesterday, mate. It's confusing because the competitor in Oz as well, so it comes up as the 12th, but it was actually the 11th. Obviously NY opens at midnight our time, so that 6 over to the 12th. That's why it comes up as the 12th. Gold Snubby thought it was Tuesday, to be honest. Yeah, I lose track of days sometimes as well, mate. Gold has not been easy for me personally. Not been tricked into any trades that I would not normally take, so I've been really strict and really disciplined throughout, which is good. But seeing I'm limited to the amount of candles I have to trade of a day, again being usually at the moment between about depends how long I'm on for, usually anywhere between 4 and 8 candles. So what I need is for price to be at a level of interest for me, and then for the catalyst to present within those 4 to 8 candles. So it's giving me limited opportunities. But how have you guys found it? Have you guys been able to find some good solid entries throughout? Most of you, I'm assuming, are on the charts a lot longer than I am of day. I think you say you think gold will potentially head back down. Not if we in fact begin to close above this resistance. I think it's a high chance of us heading up towards the previous daily high again. But if we remain below it, then yes, I do believe there's a higher probability that we will in fact head back down. Seeing a lot of red fall news tomorrow and Friday. I'll have a look at that in a sec. The trading cycle 7, I think the market is bullish and took the Asia to sell side liquidity. That is a possibility too. But again, I still want to see some. I still want to see it reset. Seeing we've come from literally the low of the day to this point here, which is again some 100 plus 130 plus pips. So in order for me to trust a buy, I need to trigger in some sellers first. I want this candle's closed back bearish. If it's very weak bearish, and once we get closer to the closure of this M15, I can bring out my fib to determine whether I believe it is a strong or a weak bearish closure. If I determine it to be a weak closure, I could potentially look for an impulse entry on the following candle, so potential buy stop. Otherwise, if it's a stronger candle, then I would need to wait another 15 minutes for this to potentially present and price to pop back above the resistance, and I'd be happy that we've reset. I've got a signal. Chillis, welcome. Haven't seen you on for a while, but hope you're well. God bless you too, mate. Welcome. No, I do remember the name. Michael Hughes, opening of markets been best place in order off lately. Nice one. Yeah, Asian session has been unreal. Some big moves throughout. Will gold go down if US Parliament opens up? Not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure how that would affect it. When Monday, when a talk came out of a potential agreement amongst the Senate to restart things over in the US there, gold pumped. So that, if that's any indication, then maybe it'll go up. But yeah, I'm not too sure, mate. Up north, you don't see any entry point unless there's an MLW. Fair enough. Gosh, it's going past daily limit. Brandon, you're on M15. Yep. Chillis, you mean you hardly come here? This London session, I think you mean. Start 1 AM, Josh. Not sure. Just, mate, I mean, oh, so it starts at 7 PM for me. No, Chillis. Nice one, mate. Some mix. Triple top forming. On what time frame? M15. Where was the first top? You're talking about here? I don't really see it, to be honest, unless you mean for pops all the way back up. Josh, re-entry for long. Again, potentially it could be a long, but I need to wait to see how this candle closes. Early, going up to 38. Potentially if we pop this resistance. DJ still below the resistance. The 4-hour level GUs popped into the range above. Need a bit of a move up. Here we can look at AU. AU's led the charge today for the majors by the looks of things. Abdul, oh, sorry, I've missed a few comments on YouTube. Calvin Turner, Asian only of late. Yeah, Asian looks to have brought the noise on the daily. Looks to be a lot more opportunities throughout the Asian session than what there has been during the London session. Well, the time I've been on the chart either way. Abdul, what indicator do you use? Just I don't use fair value gaps at all, mate. This is just the Asian session range. So from the Tokyo Open until EU Open is where I've got it set to. That's all it is. So just so I know where we are within it. Jian Kun, I didn't eat my short down there. Regretting now. Well, Sniper, I've switched to 4-hour and 30-minute. I'm holding trades longer. Being able to hold. It's difficult to lose. Easy for me to say. Fair enough. Jian Kun, I thought would actually retest 40.86. All right, so you were in a trade and didn't secure the profit by the sounds of it. PDJ of Forex Factory set to GMT plus 100. Melbourne should be the time. That should be. Abdul, I've used trailing stop loss to get maximum amount out. Backfire because I keep rebuying, lose out because of it. Keep rebuying. It sounds like you're trading based on emotion. Maybe you got out of a trade too early or saw it continue. I'm not too sure, mate, what you mean by that, to be honest. Well, Sniper, this is why I don't use stop losses, account killer. That's where it works for me. It works for you, mate. It works for you. I have a psychological level in my head. Closes or passes, I'm out. Going in. Okay, fair enough. Took a loss as a lesson. Write down why it took trade and why it went wrong. BJ, all good. Also, next time you trade, ask yourself why you are buying or selling. If no 3 good reasons, minimum don't enter. I always say that too. 3 confluences. Always say it's in my course. You need to tick off at least 3 boxes to validate the entry. Gee, yeah, I thought gold would go down when news came reopening US government. Peter, time for dinner. I know how you feel, brother. It's the worst time, to be honest. It's much better during our winter months and their summer months for the trading. Gee, I found it strange it went up instead. Yeah, look, not too sure what sort of impact potential reopening of the US government. No idea, to be honest. God Sniper, why do you think that? And it needs to show you it's going down, not what you think it will do. I've been just trying to help. What's that in regards to? I forgot the question, what you were talking about, to be honest, mate. Not being rude. Can you find out why I get Google fired up and hunt? What are we talking about? I've lost track of what we're talking about, in all honesty. I've lost track. I have no idea. Anyway, back to the charts. Back to the charts. And we are rejecting here. All right, so what I normally do in this situation is use the fib. The issue is we're currently creating the low of the candle. Why I would use the fib? Because I want to see what level is the 0.382 at. And why I want to see that is because that would determine, well, that will validate for me whether or not we're a strong or weak bearish candle closure. And if it's a weak candle closure, what it suggests to me is that we have potentially grabbed some more downside liquidity. The overall momentum is to the upside, bouncing off this support, the 4-hour support. And if in fact we were to begin to break above this pause candle high, I do believe there'd be a high probability that we could push and continue up towards that 31, 34 sort of region. If it does close back strong like so below that 0.318, then to me, I would therefore, if I was to look for a buy, need to wait for at least this to present on the following candle. And it's very, very clear and easy to follow those rules. As far as sell options, not liking off the back of one bearish candle unless it's a catalyst candle in itself. And for me, the catalyst candle itself would look something like this: bearish engulfing, and we're far off it. We're not going to print a bearish engulfing candle at the current level, so we're still above that previous resistance. So to the downside, we also want to look at the 5-minute here. This rate to the downside, unless we pop back up, reject the high and start to pop back below the support, closing back another bearish 15, for instance, potentially, I think it's going to be difficult to the downside. But we are popping back up, so let's see in just under a minute and a half if we in fact close above the 0.318. If that is to be the case, I will set a buy stop. As long as we have a low wick on the new candle, what I would be doing is setting a buy stop just above the catalyst candle high, this bearish candle high. So on my broker's chart, that is 41.25.36. So I'd be looking at 41.25.60 as a potential entry, allowing for spread. The stop loss back below this candle's low. So potentially looking at a buy in just under a minute, guys. Let's see. Abnormal, let me tell my view. I wait a little strength to sell. I wait for another bullish trap, and then I go sell. Fair enough, mate. That's all good. All good, mate. You're more than entitled to your opinion, and just stick to what you're doing that works for you. All right, so we could have potential entry here, guys. 15 seconds remaining. Has to close above that horizontal. And then we need a low wick. All right, it's closed above it. We need a low wick. And as soon as we get a bit of a low wick, then I can set an order. Come on, just print red on my broker's chart. All right, we're printing red. All right, this is fine. So I'm going to set a buy stop. I'm going to set it for 41.25.60. Stop loss will be below previous M15. There'd be ways to manage this trade if it gets triggered in. As long as this candle doesn't break below the previous candle, we can automatically start to adjust stop loss once we're triggered in. Wow, this thing is rejecting quite strong. This is pretty much what it did yesterday. Every time we looked at a trade, it did the complete opposite. So again, by having the rules, it spared us getting involved in a loss. Wow. Oof. All right, I don't necessarily mind it though if we do break, to be honest, because if that was to be the case, what we would have at that point is lower high, lower low. So based off counter probabilities, that would be to the downside. So if we were to continue bearish, there would be absolutely no need to pop back up and break the high of that previous candle. Seeing we are at a level of liquidity here, if we were to in fact do so, and after breaking a low only to pop up and break its high, then that to me is a liquidity candle, and that to me would suggest there's more probability of us heading back bullish. So I'm going to leave the trade in for the time being, but if it prints closer towards the closure of the candle, then I'll reconsider and likely remove the order. Call Sniper, speaking to previous guy, all good mate. Yeah, I just lost track of the messages there. Check the M30. That the media. What am I checking, mate? All right, if it pops down too far though, then stop loss is an issue. So there's a good chance we're gonna actually, in fact, have to remove the order. About 52 pips at the minute. I'm keeping it in for the time being. I do believe so long as we remain above this level, and if we begin to flip soon within the current candle, then we could in fact make the move. Gold Sniper traders pricing in roughly 68% probability the US central bank will cut rates by 25 basis points next month. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I thought they came out and said that there's a good chance that the rates won't be cut anytime soon, but wasn't paying too much attention to the news, to be honest. Josh, 1 hour time frame got shorted for the lower low. Gonna see a crazy climb up next few hours, potentially. Order block stacked on fair value gap. Brand, no idea. I don't trade fair value gaps. Donk. Got a buy stop set. It's pretty obvious. It's on the screen, mate. Liam, g'day to you. 4107. But closed early. It's still amazing. As long as you closed in a profit, you need to accept that you're out and wait for another setup. Chillis, patience fam, yep. Josh says hold it. NK, H1 trend is bearish. Let me look at it. Yeah, I see it opposite, to be honest. I see this is last significant high low, and that's the highest point. So I actually think we're in an uptrend. But everyone's entitled to their opinion. Alright, so dumping guys, so I need to remove this order. It's just way too far gone for me to place my stop loss at, so I've just removed the order. Gonna wait and see what eventuates again. Let's have a look at the 5. Nice strong closure on the 5, but we are at previous level here on the 5, and look what we've tapped into, guys. So let's see what happens at the 5-minute interruption. I wasn't comfortable with it because it was back below the resistance. If it was higher up, I would have looked to enter the trade off that. But the fact that we're back below it suggests to me we've potentially grabbed some upside liquidity in order to make a deeper push back down. But I need to patiently await a confirmation for my sell. Not currently in a trade, no. Yeah, CP at 41.40. Yeah. But again, if you've secured and you chose to close out whatever point you closed out, you just need to accept it and move on. Ricky, that's the trick. Accept the loss, start again with another setup. Yep, or a loss or a win, even if you cut it short. Not chillers, we are in seller territory now. That's why it's hard to take a sell. Yeah, to me, it's also sell territory. But again, doesn't mean you can just sell it. I mean, it can if you want. For me, I need to, I rely on confirmations. Young Saint Vivo, more to you. Please, what is your fixed risk to reward? There is no such thing as a fixed risk to reward for me. I just need to have enough margin to secure some profits. So I definitely want a wider target than my stop loss. So having said that, at least a 1-to-1. But it doesn't mean I'm going to wait to secure it that 1-to-1. So you guys see on the stream, I'm happy to secure in between. I personally trade fixed lots. Fixed lots is dynamic risk. So it all depends really on how I feel about a trade, and how wide the stop loss will determine what lot size I will use, as opposed to risking a certain percent, which is what I do recommend. Especially for a newer trader, I would not recommend risking more than perhaps 1% a trade, 1.5 max. At times I risk up to 5%, which is, that's a lot. T-ball, I have the same setup. Nice one. Gold sniper, a little bounce 14, watch out. 14. Yeah, some 5-minute support. So I'm happy again. For me, that was not valid. The interruption on the 5-minute based off of the level it was at. And it is popping pretty much straight through it. Donk, do you trade NQ? No, I don't. I only trade gold, mate. Not sure, so I'll never sell gold. Fair enough. Physical gold, I will never sell. Which I do have some of, physical gold. Again, those who follow me know I'm massive when it comes to silver. It is by far and away my biggest holding moving forward. I'm talking about physical, not paper trading it. And I would not sell that. I mean, I will eventually convert some of that, exchange it into gold holdings when the ratio drops to a level I feel is a reasonable level to do so. It's still nowhere near it at the minute. Malik, you trade profitable, no, personal, mate. Early, so falling down. Well, as long as we remain below this resistance, I do believe there's a higher probability that we could But are we now just creating that high low? Seeing we have created a high off the support, potentially coming back down to create a high low. So we wait and see if we form some support and how we react. We pop below the support, or in fact respect it and head back up. So there could be opportunities based off that. Bands, $5 unit, fine, good combines. $5 unit, fine. No idea, mate. MC Mitrovic, is this bearish? The structure itself, if you ask me, 15-minute structure is, I would say it's technically bearish. Because to me, this is, I mean, that was the high, that was the swing point. You got two candles here pulling in the opposite direction to the trend. If closed below at some point within this, as the news swing high, create a lower low just here. Looking back to the left, that is the swing high. So anything between this low and this high, technically bearish in structure. That's on this particular time frame. Michael, NASDAQ. Yeah, it is too. Wow. That is a beautiful candle on the daily, bearish candle. To me, that's a high. Nah, we're at some resistance, but what I was going to say, there's a high probability that this candle, seeing it's broken the high, create a bit of low, there's a high probability it's going to continue to push bullish throughout the day. Wow. Downside strength here on gold. All right, so we could be focused a little bit on this 5-minute resistance. We're strong closure here on the 15 by the looks of things. Let's see how price reacts to this 5-minute support. And if we bounce off it, only to pop back below it, we could have a valid entry off the back of that. Not sure, save the charts if you get me. Fair enough. Tatari, what about GJ? What about it? That resistance, it's consolidating below 4-hour resistance. I'd be waiting for price to either close above it for a buy or back below the support for a sell. Ricky, you jumped into a sell. Well, you're looking good, mate. Could we be joining you shortly? Really would like to, again, trigger in some buys at the support and then close below and then look for a potential option off the back of that. Quick in and out. Nice one. Brandon, can you use the fib on the last uptrend to measure that? Not in a minute, mate. I don't use fibs in that respect. I use fibs to gauge strength of a candle against the current candle against itself and the previous candle against the previous candle. So I do it a little bit differently. Michael, exactly what you're thinking with the 5-minute. Ellie sold it 41,1782. I guess I'll hold for 4105. Yeah, I mean 4105 is not a bad level. 4101 as well. All right. So let's see, because there could be a few options here. Not right yet. Right now. Right yet. Is this? So I went to a public school. Would love to see at the support trigger in some buyers here. Maybe even not that I use patterns, but maybe even create a head and shoulders pattern potentially. Young Saint Vivo, all good. Abdul is your stop loss. There's no entry to have a stop loss at the minute. Oh, sorry, as a general question, how much can lose or based on candles, and also accepting the risk involved at the particular level I choose for my stop loss. Gold Sniper, you say rejection with on 10-minute. I'll take a scalp. Fair enough. KS Multimedia, please check GU. Yeah, I had a look at GU before. It's very similar to gold. It's doing pretty much the exact same thing as gold at the minute as well. Gold Sniper, I doubt it because the dollar's recovering upwards for now. Jian Kun, do you think gold potential to retest 4180 before falling? Look, good. Who knows? I don't have a crystal ball to be able to tell you that. I'm more concerned by the current level we're at and looking for an opportunity. I do believe 41. No, look, to be honest, if we pop above 4160, 62, then I don't think 4180 is of much concern. At that point, I believe there's a good chance we're going to pop up towards the all-time high yet again. Just depends on, you know, you broke out a level, it could be a different level on your chart. I'm not sure. Come on, bounce a little bit from this level. Lemon looking professional today. Really? Yeah, I just had a look at GU. There's nothing there. It looks trash to me. Leon, you have the same analysis. Did it with order flow M1. Nice one. M1. I think you mean. No. All good. Harley 4116 buy is buys. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, above that point, you're into some very, very clean traffic. Doesn't mean it goes straight up, but I would prefer to be buy options from above that level. Metzin, ready, big sell. Could be getting involved in sell shortly, soon. Give me a second, guys. I'll be back really quick. Alrighty guys, we're bringing some buys, which is good. It's what we wanted to see. So now let's see if the next 5-minute closes bearish engulfing below, then we can look for a potential opportunity to get involved in a sell. Otherwise, if it makes a bit of a pullback, again, don't trade head and shoulders, but it definitely will resemble one we actually create that right shoulder, begin to reject. Off the back of that, pretty much the same arrows I had. Don't even know why I did that, but anyway, pretty much the exact same as that. And then we could also off the back of that look for a sell. That Chillis, who trade gold, would buy here. Thank me later. Here we go. Starting Lockie, what time frame? This is the 5-minute at the minute. Lemon, lower time frames are definitely showing bearish momentum. I'm just a bit concerned how aggressive the bullish move has been over the past 2 days. Yeah, look, it's been all over the shop, to be honest. It's been up and down. This hourly chart is proof. Clean moves up, clean move down, another pretty clean move up, clean move back down. So it has been very, I mean, clean, but yes, a lot of volume. But I also do like the downside. We remain below the resistance at that 41, 20 to 25 sort of region. As soon as we pop back above it, my bias will flip to look for buy options.
Hey, good morning, Justin.
How's it going, mate?
Hi, I'm okay. And you?
All good. All good. Watching gold? Waiting patiently. And yourself?
Looking also, also looking only for gold, as I said.
Yep.
So, looking also for more or less the same as you, looking for sells and buys in this area.
Yep, nice one.
Was also looking on this buy. It was looking very good this week. Bearish candle.
Oh, the 15, yep.
Which leave the wick to the downside there. So this would be a great buy entry there.
Yep.
But nevertheless, so that's gold. So it's moving.
Yep, correct. And the other potential option here would be based off the 15. If this rejects and closes weak bullish, we'll have a similar sort of scenario as what we had to the upside, but in the opposite direction here. So we're back below this resistance, forming a minor support. So therefore, if the new candle was to open up and create an upper wick and begin to drop below, I do believe there's a high probability off the back of that we could in fact come back down towards the daily low. So that's something we also will consider moving forward.
Yeah, which absolutely is in line with the overall structure at the end.
Yep.
So,
correct. We just need to wait and see.
I was looking for an IC on the M30, but at the end for me it's not an IC, which was coming close.
Downside or upside?
Yeah, to the in the area which the marker is right now on the left side, these bullish candles there.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct, this one. But
is it one on?
It's not only the right. It's not the right IC candle because I have two bullish candles at the end.
Yeah, it's not technically. It's not even an interruption.
Yeah.
It's a swing.
Correct. Yeah.
Jiankun, every day is a guessing game, all about probability. It is using past data and using what's to the left, and obviously our journal, our records, to give us a higher probability of being on the right side of things. But yeah, it is. So currently a 5 minute uptrend that holds so well since the rebounds. Yeah, but if it breaks and closes below this support, then I believe the back of that it could be enough to suggest we're heading back down. So yeah, we'll wait and see. Chills, high, low. Trading Games, thank you for the sticker, by the way. Thank you to new followers as well. Chill is true because today we can print a red candle, facts, a daily red. Potentially, we could. We are currently printing a bearish candle. All right, 5 minutes left of 7:15. Time to use the fib again. From high to low, let's mark in the 0.382 yet again. Gonna still be above the 5 minute support, but I'm gonna ignore that because 15 minute is the higher time frame, so it holds it's a strong confirmation. And fact of the matter is that we're below the resistance that I've marked here in here on the 15. So we have obviously perhaps grab some upside liquidity only to reject, pop back below that resistance, and if we form that minor support below it, there's a weak bullish closure, that would be enough for me to look for a sell off the back of that on the following candle. So if it closes below this horizontal, similar thing, but opposite direction to the upside, waiting for an upper wick, and then I'll set sell stop below the bullish low. But otherwise, we're just playing within this minor range at the minute. Hey, Double S Multimedia, I think today will be a sell market for gold. Possibly, mate, possibly. I would absolutely love for that to be the case, to be honest. Been holding off, was so close to buying a little bit more physical pre-stream. Well, I just wait a little bit. And the fact of the matter is, it could pump, and I'm going to be buying it at a much higher rate. But it could dump, and I get it, you know, in at a bit of a discount. But the best thing to do, as I've always mentioned, when it comes to the long term, is just DCA. That's the best thing you can do. Because it all, you know, over time, it just evens itself out. That's what I've been doing with my silver holdings. I've still been buying it at these highs. My average buy-in is probably about that 35 US rough, no, less than 30. What am I talking about? It'd be about 25 to 30 US, not even 30, probably closer to 25 US. Sketchman 60 viewers, 20 likes, guys. Hit the like button. It would be appreciated if you guys on YouTube could smash that like for me. Smash the like button, team. Hamza, good luck to you, mate. Train Games, thank you once again for the stickers. Appreciate it. Michael, London session better be good. Look, fingers crossed. It's been pretty shit house of late. Carl going down. Struggling at the minute. Again, I want to be below that horizontal, and that will give me a valid entry to the downside. Hamza, you see a long-term swing. You may see 42 by Friday next week. Depends. Yeah, I do see long-term bullish as well, to be honest. Lucky should be into a sell now. Not for me. No, I need to wait for a confirmation. Anyways, once again, appreciate it, mate. Thank you. Thank you for the follow as well. What would be my confirmation locking? So I mentioned here, if this candle closed weak bullish below the 0.3182 on the fib from top to bottom, to me that would suggest it's a weak bullish candle, and that would suggest we've got a weak support below the resistance, and that would suggest if we broke this candle's low on the following candle at session open, that we will likely, or high probability of us continuing bearish. Otherwise, if we continue to make a little bit of a pullback but respect this resistance, it could come down to a 5-minute closure below, and we could look for a sell off the back of that. So again, I don't trade patterns, but it is potentially setting up a head and shoulders pattern here on the M5 as well. All good, Lockie. All right, 30 seconds. Doesn't look like it's going to be valid on the M15 here. Closing a little bit too strong. Is there any buy opportunity? We've got 5-minute resistance. We've got 15-minute support. Yeah, this candle would have had to have closed back up near the high, and there could have been a buy option, but it's obviously not doing so. That's a really shit closure, in all honesty, in a 5-minute. For there to be a valid buy, what we would have needed to see is the last 5-minute candle close like so, and then it would have been a valid buy. Because in the end, what we've done is we've closed the M15, leaving a significant upper wick. Still, to me, it's too strong of a bullish candle to look for an impulse sell if it begins to break the low. So next plan for this downside is this closure, either engulfing, preferably engulfing, or very close to it. Hamza, that broke down during the night, just got on the charts. Yeah, broke down, but it's bounced a little bit since. Ricky consolidating a little bit at the minute. On the 5 minute, yes. Lucky, what would I set TP and stop loss to if you get confirmation? It just depends. Stop loss, generally speaking, be above the previous candle. On the M15. Target, generally speaking, would be the support, the opposite end, but I would secure in between. $30 closed back. Strong bearish. How the hourly close? Also closed back bearish. Still definitely favoring the sells as long as we're below this resistance, in all honesty, guys. Giroti, can we answer sell now? If you want, I don't have a confirmation just yet. Chillis, family trade just like my mentor, no cap. You're not in my group, are you? Lucky, appreciate it, brother. Chuck the follow, nice one. Appreciate it too, mate. Thank you for the follow. All good, mate, all good. Not sure how much longer I'll be on though, but anyway. Appreciate the follow. Unlock Vlogs Life. Hello from India. Nice one. Good day to you from Australia, mate. JD Beatsman. I'm myself from 4120, currently targeting 4102. Very slow. Nice one, mate. I think it's a good plan. And would like to eventually get involved in sell along with you if it does present. Become Mr. Dati. Appreciate your work from Uganda. Nice one, brother. Appreciate your support as always. So let's see, guys. Let's see if we can have an entry here on gold. If it actually does present, we are rejecting. So will we get the opportunity? We are just consolidating here on the 5 minute. It's another shit house closure, to be honest. Not chillis. You sure I'm actually around good people? Nice one, mate. Appreciate it. Douglas D, sell limit 41.28. Sell limit? Okay. Interesting. Oh, it's cold here. It's a hoop 66 NQ crashing. I'll look at NAS because I've got a delayed feed on NQ. Look, it's not crashing, it's just retesting the Asian range high here. So it'd be interesting to see how it reacts to it. To be honest, I'd be looking for a potential sell option, buy option, sorry, on the right confirmation. So 5 minutes trying to push back above. This thing closed weak bearish back above the Asian range high. Be a potential option to the upside off the back of that. Otherwise, you pretty much just going to be waiting for another 15-minute closure and a bullish engulfing candle, and then it's a good chance to retest the high. May not give you the option though. It may just breaks the high of this candle. The close is weak bearish and may just make the move. So, all right, come on, gold. Drop. Interesting as well, we have a potential liquidity candle here. So guys, we've got a high low, higher high. We were to in fact now continue bullish. There is no need to break below that previous bullish candle itself. If we did so, there'd be a high probability that price could continue to the downside. Could we get a potential sell option off the back of that? Now, what would stop loss be? And it is obviously it's the session open candle. We've spent a fair bit of time creating up a wick and now rejecting. 41, 1, 3, 20 could be a potential entry. Stop loss would be about 60 pips. Gonna wait for the 5-minute closure, just to give me some sort of added confirmation, added confluence. So if we can close on a 5-minute right near this low, then I would set a sell stop back below the low of the previous M15, or below the wick here, which look, it just depends. Let's just wait and see where this 5-minute closes. Oh, it's breaking. Wow. Breaking with momentum as well. I'll wait a minute and a half, guys, for the confirmation. Now, the entry would have to be below this candle's low. The following candle has to create an upper wick. So the lowest point in the current candle is 41, 112.37. So 41, 112.10 is a potential entry point. Fairly wide stop loss, guys. So I would lower lot size. And it has to close below. The last thing I want to do is reject, because are we just grabbing some downside liquidity in order to flip back bullish? It is very early into London Open, and it can be a bit tricky. So we need to be patient and wait for a confirmation. Got 40 seconds remaining. We want this candle to close very close to the low here. Tricky. Back down, see which way he wants to push. The minute we're popping back up, still is potentially forming that head and shoulders pattern. All right, this is a bit better. Drop a little bit more. Oh man, don't do this. All right. Popping back up. I've not set an order, but I reckon I will. I like also that added confirmation of the head and shoulders. So I'm going to set a short at 411.210. Oh, so close to being triggered in. Locking, I see it. Let's go. Should not be triggered in just yet. Bit of volume still. Oh, it's very close to being triggered in. Still not quite triggered in though, guys. Looks like head and shoulders, Ben. Yes, it does look like head and shoulders. Yeah, I don't trade patterns, but this does definitely look like one here on a 5 minute. So still not been triggered in yet, guys. Okay, multimedia, KWS multimedia. Whenever London opens, market starts to move sideways. It does some crazy stuff, doesn't it? Like right now, we're popping back above. So if that's the case and we're going to close above, then once again, I would need to remove the order and wait for a confirmation. And that confirmation would be the exact same shit as before. Pretty much that. So by allowing for the spread, not being triggered in, I've saved myself an entry. And look at this. This is unbelievable gold at London Open, playing tricks on people again, trapping buyers and sellers. I'm likely going to remove the sell stop, to be honest, guys. Yeah, I'm going to remove it. The way we are respecting this minor support now. Just going to need to wait. Not much you can do about it. So I mean, if it dumps in the next minute and 40 seconds, fantastic, because then we'll have a strong confirmation on the 15-minute time frame. But if not, then there is nothing just yet, nothing at the minute. London opens quite slow. Yeah, look, got volume, but it's just not there. It's not a sustained volume in any direction. It's just up, down, all over the shop. Tends to take some time before it begins to maybe trend again. It's been quite tricky from of late, London Open, to be honest. I've not seen some really clean entries. It's been a couple of weeks now since I've been able to find a really quality cracking entry when it comes to the session open itself. I mean, right now, I do believe there's probably a high chance of us going up. Yeah, the way this candle could be potentially closing, if this 5-minute close is strong up near the high, we could be looking at even buy options, guys. I quite like the buy option, the way price is bouncing off the minor support here. Once again, the issue is stop loss. Stop loss is huge. Yeah, you're looking at plus 70, around 75 pips. That's not great for a little scalp. It's not going to leave an upward to watch. Oh, it is. Alright. High is 51, 411951. Need more of a lower wick on this current candle. And it's breaking. Gold is tricky. It really is tricky. I need more of a lower wick because I need to use it as my stop loss. All right, this is better. Bring that lower wick. The high is 411958. So 411980. Stop would be below the body of that candle, and if it breaks its own low again, that's where I want to be at. So I'm just going to adjust that zone now. And I've switched to a potential buy just off the back of price action. So it's stop will just be below wherever the lowest point of this candle is. Entry 4119.80 is the buy stop. And now the reason for this trade is because we have obviously created the high, and now we've pretty much confirmed that higher low. Closing back towards the end of this candle, strong bullish back up near our high. The M5 is closed above the resistance, or above the bows to candles to the left. We've popped up at the open to break the high of that previous candle. Now popping back down to create the lower wick. So if we were to continue bearish, not much need for us to pop back up and break our own high. And if we did so, I do believe there's a high probability that we could in fact continue bullish. Off the back of that, I'm linked to take a chance on the buy. Stop loss 4117. Oof. Oh, all right, we're in. All right, let's see. Come on, gold. Here we go. There we go. There's your 10 plus. All right, I'm going to get to break even. I'm going to close half of 15. And I'm just going to let the rest run to this resistance, and that's a quick scalp. Job done. Job done, guys. So I'm at break even. Again, quick scalp. It's just based off pure price action, because price action right now at the moment on gold is very, very tricky. So I'm not going to be greedy. I'm going to secure some profit. I'm at break even. If it does continue, fantastic. If not, happy to get something off the table, because it has been quite a tricky start, or quite a tricky session yet again. So let's go. W. Merch if. Nice one, mate. Ooh, runner nearly got taken out. Come on, look at this now. So we're, again, about 15 plus pips on the table. So the general target for me is going to be here. And we are pumping, guys. Come on, smash the like button, guys. Lucky TP for me, I'd be happy just to secure that resistance. Again, I've secured some profit. And we are pumping. Come on, guys. W's in the chat. Let's go. AJ, leverage, it's 1 to 30. That's what it is here in Oz. And look at that. Absolutely perfect. Again, pure price action, this one, guys. Pure price action based off that previous candle. Because otherwise, it has been a really tricky start to London session. Really tricky open. And we've killed it. Absolutely pumping now, guys. You got 30 pips on the table. So if you're not securing anything, consider securing something. Nicely done. Cracking trade again, with no drawdown as well. Just how we like it. Wow. Absolutely loving this. Alright, so I'm just going to secure another partial. and that was up around almost 40 pips, I think it was. So I'm going to widen my target, and I've just secured a little bit more partials. I'm going to widen my target up to that point there, to 31, 34 flat, basically, is where I'm going to target this resistance to the left, the overall target now. And you've got 50 pips on the table, guys, so consider securing. Now chill us by gold, simple. Yep, at the minute that seems to be the case. 5L double X W, chillis W, donk W. Nice one, guys, good work. So it's tapped into that resistance, so definitely consider securing if you've not done so. Lemon W, Lao W, Galmeric W, nice one. Chip just shows that one has to be patient and follow the rules. Great analysis, thank you, mate. And look at that, wow. Oof. And you've also got to be fluid in the market. So you guys saw only a couple minutes prior to it, I was looking for a sell, but again, price action is king. Price action dictates my entry, and in this case, this suggests to me that we will more likely head up just off the back of that candle closure. So really good trade in the end, guys. KSS multimedia, no, I would not be entering now, mate, it's too late. Young Saint Vivo W, nice one, brother. Keep spamming the chat, guys, appreciate it, good work. That brings up win 130 for the stream. 130 wins and 33 losses. Killing it. Thank you for the sub as well. Tom, W trade, Marpa, W, nice one. Hamza, you said above 25 going up. Let's go. Nice one, brother. Kiva. Great analysis. Thank you. Appreciate it. Lucky, bro. I'm watching and trading in the shower. That's an effort, mate. That's an effort. Took the same trade, nice one. Dean, 1,600 for that trade, nice one. Hamza, well played, appreciate it. Chillis, it was in from 4-1-1-3, nice work, mate. Good go day. Just got in charts and caught that trade too. Nice one, brother. Wow, look at this thing pump. Calvin Turner, well done, mate. Good trade. I got in for 107, 5-minute flag pattern. Nice one, mate. Somewhere around here. Yep. Nice work. All right, good work, ladies and gents. Donk, we are pumping now. Yep. Lucky, great analysis, man. You explain it so easy. How often do you stream? Thank you, mate. Usually, well, for most parts, Monday to Thursday now. Fridays are, look, possibly next week I might be back for Fridays, but not, definitely won't be on this Friday. Chillis, I was worried when you mentioned sell. Yeah, look, to be honest, I would have taken a sell had I had the confirmation, but the way this, again, the way this candle flipped towards the last minute or so of it, I slid up for the buy option, because what this suggests to me is that it's a classic liquidity grab from the downside. So same as what we had, what I was speaking about for the potential sell, that we had lower high, or sorry, higher high, higher low, and ended up breaking the low of the previous candle to create that lower low. Same thing applies back to the upside. Seeing we broken the low, we were to continue bearish, and there was no need to pop back up and break our own high again, and seeing we did so, ended up closing back at that point there. It suggests to me that we've likely just grabbed down the side liquidity in order to make the move up. Wow, this thing is absolutely pumping. We've got more than 100 pips on the table, right on it, basically. Josh, scalp lows in 1 minute once the high starts dropping. Girardi target is 34, 31, 34. I've secured 75% position though. And my runner is safely at break even. Chillis, yes, you are still talking price action, I understand. Nice one, mate. Overall, I'm very bullish though on gold. Finally got a trade. Feels like it's been forever since we've had an entry on stream, to be honest. It's been tough because I'm not on for as long as normal or as often as normal. And the fact of the matter is, charts have been pretty shit. Even today, they're not great, but still, I think this is a pretty good opportunity. So what we've done is also confirm that higher low after bouncing off the 4-hour support as well. Chillis says family buy. I'm grateful for gold these past months, to be honest. Yeah, look, I'm always grateful for gold. It's not just a silly old pet rock, as some people call it. It's money. It's real money. It's God's money. But yeah, I really wanted to dump so I can accumulate physical at a cheaper level. Young Saint Viva, I love your simplicity approach in trading. Today makes it 2 weeks streaming with you and I've never had any regrets. Big fan. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much for your support. Do appreciate it. Again, it can be a bit of a pain sometimes streaming because you do cop it, but take the good with the bad. But try to dish out as much you know, useful information as I possibly can. And if we get a trade, we get a trade. And I mean, we see the results. We stick to the plan. But I do appreciate your support, mate, and everyone else's who join on the regular. Michael, you were right on US 100. Yep, okay, perfect. Popping back up. So that was my concern. That it was just retesting Asian range high to make the move back up, and that's exactly what it's doing just now as well. Not saying it's an easy entry, but I definitely prefer the upside. All right, about to close this M30. I do believe there's a higher probability of us heading up now that we are above that 41.25 region. But not re-entering. I've still got the small runner in. There's no way I'm trying to get back involved because there would have been no point of securing profit. That was to be the case. So a bit of a low could be nice, and then if it breaks the high, I think there's a good chance it will make the move to that level. I mean, you could, again, guys, it's up to you. If you want to target the daily high, you could do that. If you want to hold it for a mini swing trade, potentially, you could do that as well. But yeah, I'd rather just target to me, a more realistic level for the local resistance. Yeah, so that is my overall target, 31.34. Michael, you're gonna buy a US 100 now, looking good. No loss rate. Nice one, mate. Yeah, it's looking really good. Really strong close. Quickly have a look at the other pairs. GJ also made the move through that clean area of traffic. Yep, nice one. GU, let's have a look at GU. XAUUSD looks pretty good if it breaks the high of that previous candle. So there's strength in the majors, weakness in US dollar by the looks of things. Yeah, alrighty guys, so moving forward, what I'd be looking for, if you're looking for re-entries, which I won't be, probably best to wait and see how this 15-minute candle closes now. And if it closes weak bearish, and how to determine whether it's a weak or strong candle, you'd have to use the fib. But if it flips back bullish just now, then obviously it's not going to be a bearish candle. If that's to be the case, let it make the move. So let it create its impulse up. You're not in it, see how price reacts to the resistance here. I would personally trade it to the upside, so I'd wait for it to pull back, form support above previous resistance, confirm another higher low, and then look for a buy. I'd be hesitant to sell it, to be honest, because I feel the level it bounced off, the psychological 4100 level, is a key level, and I do believe we could now in fact make the move and retest and break the weekly high and push further bullish, potentially creating potentially up to the all-time high resistance again. So be very careful trying to sell it now. That looks like we've decided to push bullish at the minute. Man, oh man, it means I'm gonna be paying a shit ton more for gold, but what can you do? But that's what I'd be looking at. Not sure it's the higher time frame really speaks volumes. It does, mate. It definitely does. NDX 100, Advocate spoke about not long ago, mentioned I'd rather buy it, so retest the Asian range high and it's popped back above it. So long as it remains above this support, I do believe it's more likely to head back up. Alrighty guys, so appreciate the support. Well done to those of you who took this gold trade with us. A nice winning trade. I will be back tomorrow guys, same time. Fake media, next candle might give a buying opportunity. Yeah, look, maybe. Paul, cheers to you. Yeah, so thank you one and all for joining. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow on TikTok. Don't forget to jump across and subscribe to YouTube channel, just in case I do in fact go missing on TikTok, which has happened before. I've been banned once on this for this particular profile. So think about it, it's the exact same profile name as what you see on TikTok. Also guys, I will, again, as I've mentioned in my stories, I'll be doing a few different posts moving forward as well. Just to, you know, some of my interest about, you know, obviously gym, trading, fitness in general, nutrition, fragrances. I'm big when it comes to fragrances. I love my fragrances, so I'll do some honest, brutal reviews of fragrances and things like that as well. So, you know, make sure to watch those when I do release some of those videos. Guys, have a good one. Well done today. Do appreciate all the support, and I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. Trade safe. Don't do anything stupid. If you've already had a winning trade, enjoy it. Take a bit of a break. Got a losing trade, reassess, come back in a bit of time. Take care guys, well done. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Until then, cheers guys, bye.
Thank you man, bye.
See you mate.